I want to talk some of the position groups and kind of hot button guys. Rankings, and sometimes you're splitting hairs between 1, 2, and 3. But one of the position groups, edge rusher, we talked a little bit about a Marshawn Nealon sneaking in the first, but it's pretty clear top 3 with Dallas Turner. You have Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, and then Laiatu Latu. We've been big Latu fans here because of that production. Obviously, the medical injury. How did you separate those 3 guys, and what are the debates like? I think when you're trying to sort through those top 3 edges.
Yeah, and it's always tough for those of us on the outside. Obviously, we don't have near the information that teams do when it comes to medical and character. And yeah, a great example last year, Puka Nacua. He graded out as a day 2 receiver, but you drop him in your rankings because he couldn't stay healthy and the medical stuff, and he ended up falling on draft weekend because of that. And obviously, we saw how that worked out. But a player like Laiatu Latu, who had to medically retire, even though he has been healthy the last 2 years, played in every game for UCLA. How do you weigh that? You can't completely ignore it. But so it's part of the conversation. I think with this is not maybe the best group of edge rushers, but those 3 guys at the top are really talented. And with Latu, you love that he's not just throwing stuff out there with his rush moves. A lot of college players, that's because they're so used to being bigger and faster and stronger than everybody. So their rush moves, their sequencing is underdeveloped in terms of the timing and what they do. But with Latu, it's a dance. It is a very coordinated and calculated attack for him with what he's going to do to offensive linemen, and that's tape study, that's know-how, that's just a very strong technical understanding of how to play the position, and that's something that you feel like is going to translate. So he's not the size is good, not great. The athleticism is good, not amazing. He's not some superhuman athlete, but his understanding of how to play the position, I think you see that, and okay, that's going to translate pretty well. Dallas Turner ended up number 1 for me among these edge rushers because I think you love the athleticism and the upside, but he also has production. He led the SEC in sacks this year, but he's a guy at 6'3", 250. You could stand him up and let him play Mike linebacker. He could do it no problem. He is that type of freaky athlete. But he can lock out, stop the run. He's one of these guys where he's not as savvy as a pass rusher in terms of how to use his moves to break down the rhythm of blockers, but he has it in him. It's just a matter of coaching and experience. So he's not Will Anderson. He's not doesn't have that type of nuance just yet, but the freaky athleticism, the ability, the fact that he does like to stop the run, and so you bet on that upside. And I think that's why he's probably the favorite to be the first defensive player drafted. You look at Atlanta at 8, maybe even the Bears at 9. We'll see, but he's going to go pretty early. And Jared Verse, he's so easy to like because the energy that he plays with, it's nonstop. The way he can convert his speed to power is really impressive. Maybe you wish he didn't rely on that so much, just because he's 6'4", 255. He's not this, he's not the size of a DeForest Buckner out there doing that. So maybe you wish there was a little more secondary options to the way he rushes, but still he gets results. He's disruptive. So all 3 of these guys, I think they're different with why you like them, which makes it interesting when you try to stack them 1 through 2, 3. But that's also why teams are very different with their order of 1, 2, 3, and even I throw Chop Robinson in there as well, because teams will, if you can do one thing really, really, really well, they will latch onto that and run with it. And with Chop Robinson, that first step is unmatched, and teams look at that and say, "Give me that. We'll work on the rest."